God damn it. I'll put this in the freezer. I forgot about it. Now it's frozen. I can't drink it. Bugger. Alrighty guys, so today we're going to be doing part 2 on e-bike. So today what I want to do is take the rear wheel off this one and rim and everything and mount it onto this rim. This rim has an issue somewhere along it. It's got a really sharp edge and it keeps slicing into the tyre and cuts it all up, or the inner tube and the tyre, and destroys it. So I want to take off that whole back wheel and replace it with that one. Hopefully it's got the same gear ratio on it, because this bike can go up to about 54 k's an hour before the pedals stop doing anything. Yeah, and I also want to fix up this front here. Now I quickly went over it before, but I'm going to go over a bit more detail now. What's going on is, as the motor turns, Newton's third law, with every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So yes, I'm getting a lot of power moving me forwards, but I can't even imagine how much force is going through this shaft here. Now as you can see, it's not round, it has a groove in it, right? That groove fits in that there. I don't know if you're going to see that very well, but this groove here, that's where that sits in, and then you got a bolt, or the nut, sorry, that then does up to it, and yeah, you can then do it up. So that's what I've got going over here. But with the amount of force that's going through this little shaft, what it does is it just pushes out the weakest point, which is normally this here, and bends it. And then when that happens, the wheel can basically just fall off. So as you're riding along and you stop, you want to kind of lift the front wheel up, your front wheel just literally falls off. And I'll insert a picture here of when it happened to me about 10 k's away from home. Luckily I had a pair of vice grips on me and I could do something about it. So hopefully what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some flat iron steel. Don't know how thick it is, if I had to guess it's about 5mm thick. About twice as thick of what's already here. What I'll do is I'll just cut this is my bit of square metal. I'll cut a groove out of it for this to fit in. I'll weld a bit of metal across the bottom of it so the shaft goes into here, and then I'll weld something across here, not actually physically on the shaft here, but on the bottom of it, so it then locks in. So even if the nut does come loose, this bolt can't actually go anywhere. So I just have to do it up every now and then. So without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty guys, so I just took the rear tire off the bike. There it is there. Now I need to take off this wheel and everything and replace it. Alrighty guys, so here's the old rim. Got it off. Got the new one on, all tightened up. Just gotta put some air in it now. Happy days. So now I've got to work on the front. Before I work on the front though, I want to show you what's going on with the rim, because I think I didn't convert my words very well. Okay, so the tire definitely did not look like this before I rode like 10 k's on it with a flat tire, but don't do it because it cracks all the tire. Now I knew this tire was already stuffed in the inner tube because the previous tire I had, which I've thrown out now, but you see like all this here, it's gonna focus. I'll just touch focus, there we go. Yep. So it's all destroyed through in there, and I'll take it off. But you're not going to be able to feel it or be able to see it. The rim here, it's quite sharp. I want to mount the camera somewhere so I can actually get the focus properly for you. Give me a sec. Alrighty, so I've now changed the position of the camera. Now you can see my ugly mug. So you're not going to be able to see it very well. Looking at it, I can kind of see it, but I don't think it's going to convey very well into the camera. I'll see if we can get it to focus on it, but I highly doubt it. Kinda, not really. Anyway, so the way this tire works is, imagine it looks a bit like this, right? So it's got the main loop kind of thing here, which is what this inner part is, and then it's got the two little kind of hooks on it, which then grab the tire and hold it in place. If you look at a tire, you'll be able to see it. So there's kind of a little knob there, it gets stuck, these little hooks. But what's happened on this reel from factory, these edges are meant to be soft, but these ones are all really rough and hard. So as you ride, as the tyre moves backwards and forwards on it, it's just acting like a little saw and cuts through it. Anyway, so it's cut through that, flattened my tyre and the inner tube. So I knew from that straight away it was dead. And as you can see here, there's the puncture in the tyre. Obviously not fixable, okay? And also now the valve is ripped off. So this tyre and inner tube and rim are all stuffed. So it's sad, but that's what happened. That's the nature of the thing here. So that's what went wrong with this tyre. Yeah. Problem dealt with. Okay, so I'm now at the front where I've got the air compressor and some tools where I can now hopefully make up a front bracket for these to hopefully hold on my wheels. Because, you know, wheels kind of helpful. Just a weird observation I've made over the years. So anyway, I'll try and make up a bracket and show you what I've come up with. Alrighty, so here's the shocking bit of metal I cut out. There's the hole there for the wheel. Sits in there like that, so pretty nicely. Now, I don't know if you guys understood what I was saying before. I'll do it from underneath. When that's in there, it can't turn, right? That's just fact. Now, there's quite a lot of slop in there. Hopefully, the next one I make won't have quite as much slop in it. I'll try and angle grind it a bit nicer. What I do want to do, both of them though, regardless, is weld a bit of metal from here to here, across there. It doesn't matter if this comes loose, it will still be on there nice and solid. Now I will try and smash this with a hammer and get it a bit tighter. Not that one, because that'll just break. But I will try and squeeze the gap a bit. I don't know how successful I'll be, but yeah. Now, for all those people who are interested in dimensions of this bit of metal, in case you don't have a shop, I've got this broken protractor here, but it still has numbers on it that we can use. So, it is 150 mil. Oh, it's over 150 mil. It should be 150 mil. Well, no, it's 150 mil. That's what I cut it out to be. By 50 mil, I believe it is. Yep, by 50 mil. Its thickness is 6 millimeters. 6 millimeters. Now the depth I cut this was 40 millimeter. Now it's all very inaccurate, but actually, sorry, it was 30 mil. I cut it down to, thought it was 40. It was supposed to be 40, I don't know. Anyway, so I cut it down to 30 mil. So the way I got the middle was I just got 50 divided it by 2, got 25. That's a center point, not very centered, but close enough. And then I just worked down to the distance that I thought was appropriate for my axle to sit in. And so I could then bolt it in, lock it in. Now, the way I'm planning on doing this is, there's a lot of axle stump still left here. Alright, even with this in it, there's still going to be quite a lot left over. Alright, so what I'm planning on doing is undoing all of this, in this bracket, welding it in there. I'm gonna have to bend these arms out a bit, that's alright, there's no problem there. Just weld it onto the back of this. Now it's gonna be interesting trying to weld this because this is quite a thick metal, quite a thin metal. So I'm just gonna muck around welding this metal to another bike frame before I move on to this one. Now before I forget, quickly, I drilled 3 10mm holes in here. And then I got the grinder and ground that out. Alrighty, so here are my 2 bits of metal I've cut out. This is one I just cut out. This is the first one I cut out. This one's a lot more lumpier and bumpier than this one. This one I actually spent a bit of time on. This one fits a lot nicer than this one. This is still quite hot. Okay, so I'll show you the fit on this one. It fits a lot more snug the whole way through than this one, which goes in there quite loose. Quite a lot of slop. Now if I really wanted to, I could, I guess, cut it out again on this side, but yeah, we'll just keep it. I'll bang that with a hammer, see what happens. Okay, so I just finished up the first bracket. This is the nice one I welded up first. Don't ask me why, it's kind of a dumb decision really. Anyway, I think the welds came out really nicely. I was really worried that trying to weld a really thick bit of metal to a really thin bit of metal wouldn't go down very well. But what I kind of did, because I'm using the arc welder, so it's just a stick that you're using, fit it into it as you're going. What I tried to do though is mainly focus it on this bit of 6mm steel, and then the heat from that would just melt this enough to do it. And yeah, it penetrated really nicely. Not a sexual joke. Down there I got a bit of a tacky down there. That was when I first started to try and do it. And I came to the back side here. So there should be plenty of weld to hold it on. A bit more there. There's also, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that or not, there's also a bit up there. I can be bothered focusing the camera. So yeah. Now from a distance, doesn't look too bad. Works well. Come on, focus. There we go. Doesn't look too bad. I can always paint it pink with the bike. I'm sure I can go buy some pink spray paint or purple, whatever the colour of the bike is. I don't know. Anyway, so what I'll do is I have to unscrew that side. Now I did that side first because it didn't have the cable coming out of it, so I took the cable. So what I'll try and do is I'll unzip tie all these, get the cable right out of the way, bend the arm out a bit and try and solder it on. Now something interesting's happened. If you look at this, the whole wheel is actually kind of on it. So yeah, actually that's alright, it just moved from here, that's okay. No, got me worried for a second. I thought the whole thing was out of whack then. That's alright, so I'm gonna have to bend this arm, and yeah, I'll get back to you when this is all welded up. Alrighty, so we've now got both bits of metal welded to the bike, finally. Now I was looking at it, and I kind of think if those tabs aren't gonna bend anymore because they're now got like 6mm thing on it, thickness of metal on it. Do I really need to weld a bit of metal underneath it so if those nuts do come loose, it can't fall out? Now, realistically, I don't think the nuts will come loose again, because the only reason why they're coming loose before is because the little bits of metal were bending. Now they can't bend easily. We should have an issue. But I want to show you this. That was my first weld here. Yep, if I can show you anything at all. Focus you. I'm not going to say that. There we go. I think that's focused. I can't really see it. It's all just brightness on the screen. Yeah, how nice is that? And we got that one up there. It's my next weld, and then it just gets shocking over here. It's all just horrible. I don't think it's even welded. I think it's all kind of just broken there. And down there was just kind of an afterthought. So I've got to zip tie this line back on. Yeah, we should be all good to go. Alrighty guys, so I'm all hot and sweaty now. I've got quite a mess to clean up here. So thank you for watching part 2. Part 3, we'll go take it out on a test ride and see if we can get over 40 Ks on the bike. Yeah, alrighty, I'll see you then. So I'm gonna do this quick. Oh, flip. Yeah, still hot, we'll cut that out.